Chris Popper here in Bangor. I'm joined by the Northern Maine 8-man large head football coach champion of the MDI Trojans. That whole thing, that 8-man large school, it doesn't flow easily. But coach, congratulations. The Trojans have gone on the road the last 2 weeks and huge playoff wins. First against Morse and then against Camden Hills, and really with an incredible turnaround time. I mean, you played on Wednesday and then turn around and play on, or played on Tuesday and then turn around and play on Saturday.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Yeah, it was a crazy week, and I know you're a big, big part of it. I was thinking
big part of crazy, right? Is that what you're saying?
The crazy part, yeah. Right. Thinking about preparing for two teams in 1 week. I had never done that before. Playing on Tuesday against a real physical Morse team and getting home, I don't know, 11:30 that night.
Right.
Telling the kids, get to school tomorrow, being Wednesday, because there's no rest for the wicked here. I mean, we're going to have to get after it on Wednesday. And I mean, the boys were sore for sure. And that practice, it wasn't super intense as far as physicality, but mentally we threw a lot at them because we knew that, we were going to be playing Camden Hills on Saturday, and we just didn't have a lot of time, to sit around and, not be preparing. So,
and two very different teams, Camden Hills and Morse.
Absolutely. So that was a challenge because Morse is more, double tight, big backs, want to pound the football at you. Camden Hills is more, they're going to spread you out and use their athletes in space and throw the ball around a lot. And so very, different game plans for sure. And, the kids, they welcomed the challenge. I think it was helpful that they had seen both teams, so they knew what to expect and they knew what the expectations would be for us. And so they prepared well and they met the challenge, getting a good win down to Morse. And then, Saturday against Camden Hills, that was our only loss of the regular season. And, the kids were pretty disappointed that day that we lost down there. And I do remember Spencer Lorendo saying, "Don't forget this day. There'll be another day, and we'll build off of this." And that was kind of, my line to them after losing down there in the regular season. And so the kids were really excited to get down to Camden Hills. It has become sort of a rivalry. We've played them 4 times in the last 2 years.
Right.
And so the kids met the challenge. And, I thought defensively, I'm looking at the stats right now, total offense for us, 274, total offense for Camden, 155. That's pretty good against a high-powered offense like theirs.
Well, and the difference in the first half was that I think they may have had 33 yards total. They couldn't move the ball at all.
Yeah, so the game plan, the first time we played them, honestly, I didn't have a good game plan. I was loading the box defensively. I had more guys down. I was playing a 4-man front most of the day, and they were hitting us in the flat. So we stopped their run game, but we could not stop their pass game. So this game here, I made some adjustments and decided, we're going to stop them from throwing the ball in the flat, and we're going to try to force them to run the football. And we're pretty stout up front, so
Right.
that was effective. And and then of course you get up a couple scores and teams start doing things that they don't typically do. And but I tell the kids all the time, in big games, usually it's going to be special teams and turnovers. And sure enough, that game it
Both,
was.
right? Both. I mean, you won the turnover battle. You had 3 interceptions and a fumble recovery. And when you have a +4 in terms of the turnovers, 9 times out of 10 you're going to win that game.
Yep, absolutely. And that kickoff to start the second half was huge when we ended up, recovering that. And who knows? If they recover that and they get a good drive and they punch it in, it's going to be a dogfight right to the end. And I think that did kind of take some wind out of their sails, being, I guess, the Windjammers, right? But that was pretty good. I didn't even mean to do that.
All right.
But yeah, so then we were able to punch it in and get up a couple scores, and we had the momentum, and they were kind of back on their heels, and the kids were able to put it away, and Cal Hodgson had a huge interception late.
Yeah.
Cal ended up getting the game ball. He had 2 big interceptions for us, played great defensively and played very well offensively. And, we're on to the state championship.
Let's talk a little bit about Hadari Foster there with that kickoff. And I mean, what is his, and then when he recovered the fumble, I mean, what is his role in terms of where he's supposed to be on the kickoff? I mean, you want everybody to play the lane. But I mean, is he supposed to go after the ball, or is it just turned out that he was covering the lane and it was perfect?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, with kickoff, it's all about lane integrity. So, like you said, you need to run your lane. You need to keep, good distance between the guy beside you. I mean, there is a trick to it, because if you end up getting away from that guy that's next to you, you open up these huge lanes for the returner to run through. And the guys did a nice job. Hadari did a nice job running his lane, and number 7 for Camden, not sure of his name, he was just having trouble fielding it. And I think before he knew it, we were down there. And I don't think he expected us to be down there maybe that quickly. And sure enough, we were able to get the ball, and that was a huge play.
I've done too many games. Is Hadari left-footed? I mean, it spins differently.
Yeah, he is left-footed. So you're right. I mean, most kickers are going to be right-footed, and they're probably going to push it more to the left. He's right-footed, and many times he'll push it more to the right. That one, if I remember correctly, was kind of right down the middle of the field. But yeah, that changed. Really
huge momentum change.
Yeah, for the game, and so that helped.
So now you place the Greely Rangers. Greely, was one of those teams last year that struggled, and all of a sudden are the Southern Maine champs. What do you know about Greely?
Yeah, I mean, what we know about them is they're really good. They started the season off. They'd lost a couple of games, and you could tell they've changed their personnel, putting them in different places, and they seem to have figured some things out. They remind me, a lot of Morse. They do want to run the football more than pass. Not saying that they can't. Their quarterback, number 5, is as good as they get. I mean, this kid can throw and run. He's fast. So, they try to do a lot with him, and they have big backs in the backfield. They have a big, strong fullback, and they put a big back behind him, and they'll try to power the football. They'll try to, right between the tackles, they'll try to get outside. They're very diverse in what they do. They're very well coached, and defensively, they're solid. They have some nice players on defense, and they make it difficult for you to move the chains and get first downs and get in the end zone. So they'll be a handful. They're going to be a big time challenge for us, and we're just hoping that we can give them everything we have.
So the game's at 11 o'clock on Saturday. How weird is that to have a morning game? I mean, you've run the gamut here, where you played on Tuesdays, you played on Saturdays, the Friday nights, and now you play Saturday morning at a weird time.
Yeah, once again, you and I have doing this forever. Never had an 11 o'clock start that I can remember. Yeah, so it's different. For our players, you think about our preseason. I mean, I have them out there at 6 a.m. every day. Our 2 days, we go 6 to 7:30 in the morning. So our guys are accustomed to being on a football field early in the morning. And, my good friend Chris James, my line coach, he said, "I'm glad we're playing at 11, not 2:30. I said, "Why is that?" He goes, "I don't want to be sitting around the house all day thinking about the game." I'm like,
well,
okay.
there is that, right? I mean, there is that.
Yep. So we're leave here around 8 o'clock, and that will get us up there, whatever, a little after 9, and let the guys get off the bus and walk around the field a little bit, stretch their legs. I mean, we've been on turf, for a couple of games with Moore, so I think that's beneficial to us to play on turf and to know how that feels. So it's a beautiful facility. Bunky, Al, and I went up we went up Tuesday and
I
toured
mean,
the place.
Cameron's, I mean, the city of Bangor spent millions on Cameron Stadium, and it is beautiful. And the turf, I mean, I remember walking on it. Is it maybe 2 years old now? But I mean, it's like being on air.
Yep. Yeah, it's nice. I walked around with Bunky, and yeah, I remember I played for Skowhegan High School, and back in the day, I mean, we used to play Bangor. They were one of our teams in
Right.
our conference. So I played there a couple of times as a player, and it was entirely different when I walked
Oh,
up there, when I walked on the field this week, looking at it compared to what it used to be, and it's really quite a facility.
yeah. I mean, they've done wonders. Now, obviously, it's in Bangor, so we expect a huge crowd. We want to remind everybody that if you are coming, you need to purchase your tickets online. There's no cash sales at the gate. You can purchase them via credit card now. We'll put the link here. But you can also purchase them at the gate, but again, only via credit card because the ticket sales are cashless.
Right. Yeah. So we met with the MPA, Maine Principal Association. Bunky and I did on Tuesday, and they went through all that. And that was one of the bullet points was, try to buy them ahead of time online if you can, and but they won't accept cash, and make sure you have your credit card with you if you don't have tickets when you get in line. So
You can, I mean, if you're going to buy snacks, you can pay that with cash. But the other thing is for people, originally this game was supposed to be at 2:30. It got moved to 11 because Old Orchard Beach has to travel. And so they're allowing the Gulls extra time to come up. So if you did buy a 2:30 ticket, don't don't freak out. They're going to honor both tickets, and one ticket's good for both games, I believe.
yeah, I believe that's true, Chris. I think you could sit there and watch two, hopefully, really great football games.
Right. All right. So what do we want to say to the fans? I mean, we're going to do this next week. Hopefully, we'll have the gold ball in your office when when we do the next one. But you'd love to have just a huge MDI turnout, and we got to give credit. I mean, I think that the turnout for at Camden Hills was huge. I mean, those signs they've made it to Morse, they've made it to Camden Hills, and hopefully they're going to make it all to Cameron Stadium. And you want to have just, I don't know if the band's coming up or what, but the more people that we can have there to cheer on the Trojans. And are you the away? You're the away team, so you're wearing white again.
Correct. So we'll be the Road Warriors again, wearing white, and yeah. So I believe, I mean, talking to some people, I mean, I was so invested in the game on Saturday at Camden, I wasn't really paying attention, but it sounded like maybe we had more fans than they did. I don't know if that's true or not.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's for us, right? It's basically an hour drive up to Bangor this Saturday, and hopefully, people I know. Once again, everybody's busy. I get that, but if you can make your way up there for that 11 o'clock kickoff, I know it means a lot to the guys, and they feel that energy. And I mean, we couldn't ask for more. The support from the community, the school. I mean, we had that escort coming back from Camden. That was super cool. The kids loved it. It just feels good to know that people are out there, and we play for them. We play for our community, we play for our school, and we take pride in that. So we're hoping, yeah, we can get a big crowd up there and you know give them everything we have.
If you're not aware, when you come off the island, look at the helmets on the phone poles. I mean, that is Ellsworth and MDI tradition, and there's nothing cooler to see everybody's names tacked on to the phone poles. And I know, football, they've done it for cross country, they do it for basketball, swimming, and baseball as well. And it's just the coolest thing. And I don't know if we're gonna have the sign up, but there was that sign, last one off the island, turn the lights off. And we just want to have Cameron Stadium just full of green and white. Although I think Greely's green and white, aren't they?
I think they're a maroon,
Oh, okay.
I believe, but I'm red-green colorblind, so who knows? Maybe they are green. Maybe
Okay.
we're maroon. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you are.
yeah, yeah. I'll give a shout out to Dan Stillman, was a art teacher here for years, and he filled in as a long-term sub earlier this school year, and he was instrumental in helping get those signs cut out. And I'll give a shout out to my wife and some of the moms. They were phenomenal. They ended up painting them, and then Jason Hodgson, he was the one that put them out there on the poles. And yeah, it's unique to down east. I'm like I said, I'm from central Maine, Skowhegan area, and that's something I had never seen before until I came down here. And then I realized, oh yeah, so when you leave the island, there's really only one way to get up
Right.
to Bangor or off the island. So that's a cool thing to do. And so yeah, once again, that means a lot to the kids too. There's been people waiting for us at Thompson's Island there, cheering us on as the bus goes through, and it just feels great.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on the basketball bus when it's come back through, and there is nothing like it to have a police and fire escort as you come back to the island. I mean, it's just it's amazing.
Yep. Yeah, it really is. And I've been told that those people really, they love to do that for the teams, which I think is awesome. So
Yeah,
thank you to them.
yeah. All right, Coach. Best of luck. We'll see you Saturday, and it's just it's been a crazy year. I mean, you think back, we started this 3 months ago, and you're one of two teams playing still in eight man large school football. And I mean, that's the goal. And congratulations, you've made that happen with the boys, obviously. Oh, and let me just ask one other thing is, you got to give Chris James, Dan Vibert, I mean, these two wackies, they're wearing shorts. And I did run into Dan's wife, and um, she told me that he often says, well, when you have his legs as good as his, you can't cover them up. But I'm telling you, it's just, I don't know how they're doing it. I mean,
Yeah.
now you just can't wear long pants until Sunday. They'll probably never wear shorts again until next spring, but I'm sure they'll be out there in shorts again on Saturday.
Yeah, yeah. Chris James, he was pretty chilly down there. Probably more of the Morse game than the Camden Hills game, but he toughed it out. Dan Vibert toughed it out. I mean, I think both of them probably should cover up their legs, but I mean, to each their own.
Right.
But yeah, they're going to have to do it for Saturday. We need a bunch of good mojo going into that game, and anything we can bring, we'll bring it.
Right. All right, Coach. Have a great day. You're off tomorrow from school. We're taping this on Thursday, but you're practicing on Friday, and then we'll see you Saturday up in Bangor.
Yep, we'll go 10 to 12 Friday practice. We're going to do a team lunch here at the high school. The moms are bringing in a bunch of food for us again, and then we're off to Cameron on Saturday.
Actually, having that practice at 10, that kind of gets you you know, here's what we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to be playing football this time tomorrow.
Yeah, and that was the thought. Mark Arnold came up with that idea. I thought it was a great one. That how about we practice at that time, because that's really when our pregame is going to start, is around 10 o'clock on Saturday. So let's do it.
All right, Coach. Great day. Happy Veterans Day tomorrow to all the veterans, and we'll see you Saturday.
Sounds good, Chris. Thank you.